A blessed good evening to one and all. This evening I'm here at Holetown in St. James, looking to do a video with Holetown. I will walk through Holetown this evening. So I'm starting from here by Sunset Crest, an area in Holetown by the name of Sunset Crest. Back up here now will lead you back to Sandy Lane Hotel, which is a 5-star hotel where the rich and famous stay when they come to Barbados. They stay at Sandy Lane Hotel. So up here we'll lead you back to Sandy Lane, all on the west coast. In St. James, Sandy Lane, Paynes Bay, Fitz Village, that part of the west coast, and back to town as well. This is the Divi Heritage Resort here. This is the Sunset Mall. Sunset Mall. The Sunset Mall here in Holetown, St. James. Back up. The Sunset Mall here, which has Cape Shepherd store, which is now Bridgetown duty free shopping. It has Photo Finish, it has ABC Bank. So this is all Holetown. Sunset Crest. Holetown can be best referred to as the Gold Coast or the Platinum Coast. So as I said before, Holetown was the first settlement where the English settled when they landed in Barbados on the 27th of February 1627. The English landed at Holetown. This is a private residence named Vauxhall. But before I go any further, the rich and famous also make out here their dwelling place. This is a high-end area. Alright, I don't want to spot on nobody's house or nothing so. But people think that I want to spot the house or rob the house or break the house or nothing so. People are very funny. This is a high-end area. The rich and famous stay out here when they come to Barbados. I mean, the rich and, yes, they stay out here when they come to Barbados. But I mean, some people, the rich and famous people also live out here as well. This is a high-end area. The hotels are high-end, and the houses, for example, the guy Richard Branson that owns Virgin Atlantic also has a house down here as well. Richard Branson also lives, well, he doesn't live, but he has a house down here on the west coast as well. So this is the rich side of Barbados. By the way, Holetown was the first settlement, the place where the English settled when they landed in Barbados on the 27th of February 1627. The English landed at Holetown in St. James. One beach land. This is another hotel, right? Villa Tamarindo. When the English first landed in Barbados on the 27th of February 1627, they landed at Holetown, St. James. Out here can be referred to as the Gold Coast or the Platinum Coast. So this is a very rich area. in fact one of the richest areas in Barbados. Here in Holetown. So this is all walking down Holetown. This part of Holetown is referred to as Sunset Crest. This is all the west coast in the parish of St. James. So this is where we're leading back to Spikestown in St. Peter, which is to the north of the island. Where this white fencing was once Civic restaurant. Civic used to be here years ago. Civic used to be at this location. You can see the Sandy Crest Medical Center over here. Or on the beach, via the beach. So this way back to Sandy Lane. This way can be back to Sandy Lane with the Sandy Lane Hotel. As I said before, Sandy Lane is a 5-star hotel. I forgot to mention just now that Tiger Woods, the famous golfer, Tiger Woods, got married here in Barbados at Sandy Lane Hotel. Rihanna also stays here. When she comes home, she stays there. You can see a cruise boat out to sea. This is that kind of time in the year. This is carnival time. You see the sun setting. It is sunset time now. This is about 6:05 p.m. Back to the road. The sunset here. And this is the back where Civic was. I remember when Civic was here. When I was a kid, Civic used to be here. That was back in the 1990s and so on. So walking down, you can see all that Civic was. Civic closed down from here in 2008, sorry. Civic opened here in 1993, and then in 2008 it closed because the owner of the property wanted back the land, so Civic had to close. I remember years ago when Civic was here, I could have sit down behind at the back of outside at the back and watch the sun setting. So this is all the West Coast, which is also referred to as the Gold Coast or the Platinum Coast. Okay, back up. sunset. So the land is just vacant. Someone was on my YouTube telling me about a hotel that was here, but I totally forget the name now. When the guy that is commenting that hotel was here, if you watching the video, please remind me what it was. It's not that I remember when the hotel was here, but that could still be a part of history. I only know when Civic was here, back in the late 1990s when it used to be down here, and into the early 2000s. Sandy Crest Medical Center over here. I don't want to see water behind me though, so oh yes, be careful. I want the water behind my shoes. All here is really Civic restaurant. This can be another path here to the roadside, or the beach house hotel. The beach house and the Port Owens restaurant here. Port Owens restaurant. The Port Owens restaurant at the beach house. Not open at the moment. Folkestone Beach is just around the corner. And the Drift Ocean Terrace Lounge is right here. And the Tide is next door. The Tide's restaurant right here. Tide's restaurant here at Holetown in St. James. All the Tides here. Tides. So this is all on the western coastline. St. James Villa Apartments. So you can be sure to pay this area a visit when you come to Barbados. St. James Villa Beach Apartments over here. So walking down, all the way down. So that is why this is called a Holetown Land and Sea Walk. So I will name this the Holetown Land and Sea Walk. As I always name my videos whenever I come to Holetown, I just name it Holetown Land and Sea Walk. St. James Villas Beach Apartment. So this is the rich high-end area on the west coast. Now upcoming Zacchaeus Pizza House, which is just on the west coast. Zacchaeus. So both the local whites and the international ones like to invest in this area here. Now coming off of the casino. So both the locals and the international whites invest in this area down here on the west coast. A very rich area. Surfside Cafe over here. Surfside over here, Surfside Cafe. And this is the Civic building, which our government and Prime Minister sold to the Canadians earlier this year. And I also heard someone said that it is due for demolition. I don't know how true that one is. I hear that it's due for demolition in a few weeks' time or something. So this is the Civic building, which has the police station, the magistrate's court, the library, the revenue authority. It has the licensing authority and so on. This is it here. Massey Supermarket. Massey, the police station complex, and Massey stores right here. Massey Supermarket, where the Sunset Mall, West Coast, it was the Sunset Mall or something so, it used to be. So this is where the police station is, the magistrate's court, the library, the licensing authority and the revenue authority is. So Massey Stores is where the Sunset Mall was. Sunset Mall, where Supercenter Supermarket was. Supercenter used to be in here. Supercenter Supermarket was in here. Supercenter was in here. And in 2017 it was demolished. Massey bought over all the Supercenter supermarkets from BS&T, which stands for Barbados Shipping and Trading. So then BS&T sold over all the custom money stores, and Massy stores and supercenter supermarkets to the Barbados shipping and trading to Massy. So this is the Rubis gas station, which has Burger King restaurant at it. This is the Holetown monument. It says this plaque was erected in the 11th year of Barbados' independence to mark the 350th anniversary of the first settlement on the island. So this is the Rubis gas station, which was once Texaco, which has Burger King at it. So as I said about Massy stores, Massy bought over all the Costa Mannings and supercenter supermarkets. So then in 2014, 2015, it became Massy stores. And then in 2017, they demolished the building and rebuilt it back to the modern structure the same year. They rebuilt it the same year. So Holetown is set up differently to any other town in Barbados. Royal Bank of Canada right here. The Holetown Methodist Church here, which dates back to 1912. I will take you guys down to the oldest church, the first church, St. James Parish Church, which dates back to 1629. The oldest. So this is Holetown Methodist Church here, which dates back to 1912. People get mixed up with this church and St. James Parish Church. People always get mixed up with Holetown Methodist Church and St. James Parish Church. Lime Grove Lifestyle Center next door, which is an expensive mall. This road here now by Lime Grove will lead you back into the parish of St. Thomas. This road here by Lime Grove will lead you back into St. Thomas, with St. Thomas Church via Highway 2A, which is known as the Runner Map Highway. It will lead you more inland and into the country and further east into St. Thomas. It will lead you back to St. Thomas Parish Church by the roundabout. And then it will take you back to Rock Hall, which was the first freedom village in Barbados, where the slaves settled after slavery. And it will take you back to St. Thomas Parish Church and back to Harrison's Cave and Welshman Hall Gully. Anywhere so in St. Thomas we want to go. The Lime Grove Lifestyle Center here. Things in Lime Grove are very expensive. Lime Grove is one of the most expensive malls in Barbados. I doubt I can afford anything in Lime Grove. I doubt I could afford anything in there. I doubt I could afford anything in Lime Grove. That would cost me my whole pay pack. Spago Bar and Restaurant here. Zouk Lounge. The Asian Palm Restaurant here. The TML One Love Bar right here. And the Mango Bay Hotel. So this is First Street Holetown that I went through. I will now come out at 2nd Street. This This is where all the nightclubs are and all the action is, and so on. The Mango's Bay Hotel. This is Mango Bay Hotel. Mango Bay Hotel. So a lot of lounges are out here. This is something similar to St. Lawrence Gap, but this is smaller than St. Lawrence Gap. St. Lawrence Gap is bigger. It has more lounges, more nightclubs. Out here is just a little something, a little the Muse restaurant and lounge right here, and the Sitar restaurant, which is an Indian restaurant here. Sitar restaurant, and this is the Nishi restaurant back at Lime Grove. You can see the Barbados flag here. Back at Lime Grove, Lifestyle Center, Lime Grove. Lime Grove was opened around 2010, 2011, sometime around there. On my way back up, I will show you guys through Lime Grove. Let me go down first. I will end the video by saying James Parish Church, which was the first church in Barbados. I will end it there, and then I will walk back up. There's a building and a hotel here too. Not approaching St. James Secondary School. So this way will lead you back to Holetown. So they're building this is the construction site here. Jamestown Park, that is a village. Jamestown was the first name given to Holetown. Before it was actually Holetown, it was Jamestown first. A construction site is here, they're building something here, I'm not sure what it is. I don't know if it's another hotel or something. Now this area is rich. All the construction site here. So I'm walking down. This way to lead you back to St. James Secondary School and the primary school. St. James Secondary was renamed the Frederick Smith Secondary School, named after a former politician and deputy Prime Minister Frederick Smith. The Sandpiper Hotel here. This way will be better. The highway to way as well, known as the Roundabout Highway. Batter Orange Hill and Orange Hill and Lancaster as well. Yep. Back to the Settlers Beach and the Sandpiper Hotel. The name Settlers Beach came about because that was the Settlers Beach. The name Settlers Beach came about because the English settled here when they first came to Barbados. So the Sandpiper over here, Sandpiper Hotel. So back towards St. James Secondary School. Play tennis over here or something. So I will end up by St. James Parish Church, the first church in Barbados, which was built in 1629, 2 years after the English settlement in Barbados. St. James Parish Church. St. James Parish Church. The church center. So St. James Parish Church is an Anglican church. And it was the first church in Barbados, which was built by the slaves in 1629. Built They don't bury people in this cemetery anymore because people that are buried here are buried who died from cholera. So that's why the cemetery doesn't bury people anymore in this cemetery. Thank you guys for watching now, and do have a blessed evening. Love you guys. Stay tuned for more videos on Barbados. Bye.